Yo, what is up, y'all? My name is Devin, and today we're going to be talking about something that I think most of us rather enjoy, and that is food. That's going out to dinner with friends, family, your partner, anything like that. I think whenever we decide, hey, I'm going to be healthier, I'm going to start living a better lifestyle, we may write off eating out and think, yo, I can only eat food that I'm cooking from home. I've actually compiled a list from research that I've done whenever I do go out to eat with my girlfriend, and I'm like, yo, I want to participate. I still want to be a part of this social outing, but I don't want to go overboard when it comes to my food intake. So if that sounds like something you want to do, if you want to have fun with your family, with your loved ones, and still stay the course when it comes to hitting your macros or just eating healthier as a whole, definitely stick around to the end of this video, okay? But before we get into that, if you are interested in one-on-one coaching, a custom meal plan, or a custom training plan, you can email me. It's going to pop up right over here, but you can also check out my website. You can just type it in. It's devinspears.com. Within that website link, you'll also find my program, MASC Made Simple, which is really aimed for people who are trying to masculinize their physique. Also, you'll find a dumbbell-only training plan, which is amazing if you're someone who's working out from home with very limited equipment. And lastly, but not least at all, you can find my cookbook, Healthy Doesn't Suck, which is a lot of high protein recipes from breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, everything like that. Without further ado, let's talk about food. So I'm gonna put a little disclaimer out there. A lot of these restaurants I'm gonna mention have bread and butter, and you have to keep that in mind. Not that you should be, restricting yourself or anything like that, but if you are actively trying to seek out, lower calorie options, you have to be careful if you're going to like the Cheesecake Factory and they have that delicious bread and butter. You're like, it's easy to have like a whole loaf of that. Like, honestly, it's really easy. So keep that in mind. If you're logging your meals, don't forget to log the bread and the butter, okay? It counts. Unfortunately, it counts. I kind of gave y'all a heads up already. I kind of spoiled it. First restaurant we're gonna be diving into is the Cheesecake Factory. So I actually grew up eating at the Cheesecake Factory. It's like an economical version of like a Michelin star restaurant for us Americans. The Cheesecake Factory is amazing, and they also have a specific menu called the Skinnylicious menu, right? If you're looking at the standard Cheesecake Factory menu, most of those meals are gonna have 1,000+ calories, which is already half, if not more than half of, the average person's calorie consumption for the day, or what it should be anyways. That Skinnylicious menu is gonna come in super clutch. I don't love the fact that it's called Skinnylicious, because first of all, I'm not trying to be skinny. It's just a regular sized portion, whereas the other menu, the regular menu, is like overboard. It should just be called regular food menu, but that's me being nitpicky. So realistically, they claim, I'm not the one cooking the meals, I don't know what they're adding to it. Whenever we're looking at the nutritional information of the menus, that goes for anything, we have to take it at face value. Of course, there's no way to 1000% confirm that the nutritional information is correct, but Cheesecake Factory claims all of the items on their Skinnylicious menu is 590 calories or less. I'll be honest with you, I'm sometimes suspicious of that just because the portions are a little bit big, but I guess if they're cooking with like leaner protein options, like a sirloin steak, chicken breast as opposed to chicken thighs, if they're not really cooking with that much oil at all, if they're keeping the fats of those meals on the lower end, even though it is a little bit bigger volume, it may still be lower calories, right? So I kind of go in thinking, okay, this might not be the most accurate thing in the world, but at least it's not the same calories as a regular menu option. The meals are not little whatsoever. I just went out with my girlfriend and her family a couple of weekends ago, and I got the shrimp pasta, and it was pretty sizable, and I was actually full afterwards, and that's saying a lot. So definitely don't think that you're gonna be eating some little tiny plate. My job is super easy with the Cheesecake Factory because every single item on their Skinnylicious menu is perfect, okay? The next restaurant we're gonna be looking at, and these are franchises. The reason why I did choose franchise restaurants is because, as the name implies, they should be accessible to most people who live in the US, and obviously they're gonna be found in like malls, stuff like that. If you're watching this and you live in like Nebraska or Utah or Las Vegas, you should have access and you should be able to go to these restaurants and enjoy yourself. So that was the main concept there. One type of restaurant that I love to go to that's not a franchise are Korean barbecues, just because you can typically get like 1 or 2 orders of chicken breast or chicken thighs and shrimp or squid or calamari and cook it on the grill, but like little kimchi, little pickled daikon, stuff like that, and then also a cup of rice. So I go to Korean barbecues with my girlfriend very often, and that's one thing that it's not on the list, but you shouldn't be afraid of as long as you're sticking to, chicken, shrimp, lean meat, stuff like that. The next restaurant is going to be Bonefish Grill. I'm going to be including 3 items from each menu that I mentioned, but honestly, these restaurants do have more macro-friendly options that I'm just simply not going to include for the sake of not making this video 2 hours long. I'm throwing out what sounds the most appetizing to me and what is the lowest calories, the lowest fat, highest protein, okay? So the first item from Bonefish Grill is going to be the Cod Imperial. Now, the Cod Imperial is 410 calories, and one thing to keep in mind with any of these restaurants is that the sides that you're going to be having are additional calories, right? So that one specific dish is called the Cod Imperial, but the 2 sides that you get as well, you have to include in your calories, okay? It's not included in that 410 calories. That's honestly not an amazing calorie amount for a piece of fish. If you cook it at home, it'll probably be like 200 calories maximum. You have to keep in account they're using oils and stuff like that. It does hike the calories up a bit, but if you get a side like broccoli, I usually get double broccoli or broccoli and asparagus or double asparagus. The next dish from Bonefish is going to be the Chilean sea bass, and this is what I always get. It's flaky, it's delicious, it's a little little bit salty, a little bit of lemon going on. I love the Chilean sea bass, and that Chilean sea bass is 570 calories, okay? And the last menu item from Bonefish Grill is gonna be Lily's chicken. Now you have to be careful, because a while back when I went to Bonefish, I told them the chicken dish, and they brought out chicken marsala, and I was like, ooh, that's not what I ordered, bro. So make sure that you specify Lily's chicken, and Lily's chicken is 510 calories. The next restaurant that we're gonna be looking at is Texas Roadhouse. Now I gotta be honest with you guys, I do not go to Texas Roadhouse, reason being because A, my girlfriend doesn't like the energy. I don't know if it feels a little too country hoedown for her, I don't know. And another reason why I don't force us to go essentially is because they have rolls. They have these delicious, yeasty, buttery, almost sweet-like rolls. I cannot have a basket of rolls in front of my face. I have a lot of willpower, but that would just be me redlining my willpower, and I don't want to put myself through that. So if you're gonna go to Texas Roadhouse, be careful with the yeast rolls, okay? They're insane. The first menu item is gonna be the Dallas filet, and that's gonna be the 6-ounce filet, and that Dallas filet is 270 calories. Now keep in mind, filet is a very, very, very lean cut of steak, meaning that it doesn't have a lot of fat. Whenever you have a lower fat piece of steak, you definitely wanna make sure that you do not order it like well done, because it's gonna feel like you're chewing bubble gum. I know we're most adults here, so we know how to order our steak, but if you're new to eating leaner cuts of meat, understand that whenever something has less fat, you don't wanna cook it super hard because it's gonna be dry as hell, okay? The next option is gonna be the grilled shrimp. Now this actually includes the shrimp as well as the sides. It's 670 calories, but that includes, I believe, a house salad and rice, or at least that's what the menu specified. And the reason why it is a little bit more calories is because they do use a butter, if I'm not mistaken, a garlic butter, so you can always request to have certain things removed, like, you know, you're the one eating it, you have to be comfortable. And the last item from Texas Roadhouse is gonna be the grilled barbecue chicken. That is 8 ounces of chicken, and it's gonna be 300 calories. Again, taking these menus at face value, the barbecue would have to be very low calorie barbecue sauce. Maybe they're using G. Hughes barbecue sauce, I don't know. You do have to account for the sides that are not part of those calories listed. This restaurant can be a hit or miss with people. Some people love this restaurant, some people hate this restaurant. I think it just depends on the management, and I'm talking about PF Chang's. I've been to some PF Chang's that are like, bro, how is this restaurant still open? Like, it's just terribly managed. And I've been to other PF Chang's that are like, damn, this is giving like fancy. The first meal that we're gonna be looking at from PF Chang, it's actually an appetizer menu item, but I love it. And that's gonna be Chang's lettuce wraps. So this comes with a bunch of little lettuce wraps as well as chicken, and the chicken has a nice little sauce on it, or maybe a glaze or something like that. And it has also chickpeas in there. I really love this item just because I like to assemble things. It is a little bit of a smaller portion than their regular food items, but because you're putting the wraps together, it's fun. Like, I like to have fun with my food, hence why I made a cookbook. So not to plug, like, genuinely that's how I feel about it. And that's gonna be 330 calories. The next menu item is gonna be the ginger chicken with broccoli, and that is 240 calories. So the thing that I will say was questionable to me was they had the amount of servings and the calories next to that. For example, the ginger chicken with broccoli, it says servings 2, and then it says 240 calories. So it's possible that that's 480 calories, so keep that in mind. Either way, it's really not gonna break the bank. In comparison to other menu items, it's really much better nutritionally. Now, the last item from PF Chang's is gonna be Buddha's Feast. You can get this either steamed or stir-fried, and stir-fried is 20 more calories. I think that's gonna offer a lot more taste. Steamed doesn't really taste great to me. It feels like dieting hella hard. The last restaurant on this list is gonna be Longhorn Steakhouse. I freaking love Longhorn. My girlfriend and I love Longhorn. She usually gets the mac and cheese and also a strip steak. She loves it. So there's stuff to please the whole family essentially, right? The first item on this list is gonna be Flo's Filet. 6 ounces is gonna be less calories. It's gonna be less fat, less protein. And this 6-ounce Flo's Filet is gonna be 330 calories. Although it is a steak restaurant, a lot of us don't love steak. So the next menu item is going to be the Longhorn Salmon. Longhorn is delicious. So anything that they have on their menu, I really feel like as long as it's a good franchise, that's the risk you take with going to franchises. Whoever's on the clock is not loving what they're doing, the meals might not come out spectacularly. The 7-ounce salmon is gonna be 300 calories, which is not bad for salmon whatsoever. And the final item is gonna be the Renegade Sirloin. If you're getting the 6-ounce Renegade Sirloin, that's gonna be 320 calories, right? And the sides that I like to get from Longhorn is gonna be similar to Bonefish, the broccoli, as well as the sweet potato or the regular potato with no butter and no sugar for the sweet potato, just because sweet potatoes honestly have a nice natural sweet taste to themselves. So I don't feel the need to add such, extra calories on top of that, because that is gonna rack it up. Just to give you guys some insight, I allow myself one off-plan meal per week. If you guys have seen my fast food restaurant video where I mentioned Chipotle, Subway, Panda Express, all of these are part of my one off-plan meal a week. And honestly, you should be allowing yourself that gratification, as long as it's not gonna be breaking the bank, as long as it's not gonna be terrible. It's very, very similar to eating at home, but you're getting that social experience and you don't feel like you're over restricting yourself. So I feel like it's a nice balance, and that's usually the game plan that I take with my clients as well. If you have any restaurants that you think fall into this wheelhouse of, a nice franchise that's accessible to a lot of people, but also has amazing menu items, feel free to drop that in the comment section down below. I may go there myself. Of course, if you are interested in coaching, definitely check out my website down below. Devin loves you. Devin's a Don, and Devin is out of here, boy.